Generally speaking, spirit duluos and title duluos rarely wear such ceremonial robes. These robes signify not only their status, but also solemnity. They are only worn in duels against opponents of the same rank or in extremely important situations. The fact that these three elders were dressed in such robes clearly indicated their respect for the Shrek Academy delegation. Moreover, these elders had come personally to the committee entrance to welcome them. Even Flander, with his usual pride, couldn't help but feel honored in this situation. He had always believed in the principle of repaying respect with even greater respect. Since the other party showed such respect, he felt obliged to respond accordingly. Flander quickened his pace and took a few steps forward. When he stopped, he crossed his hands over his chest and bowed slightly. A Shrek Academy, Flander. Spirit, Owl, Agility System, Level 78, 7-Ring Battle Spirit Sage.
Greeting, Seigneur.
In the Spirit Master world, this gesture is a courtesy from juniors to seniors. Although Flander was over 50 years old, it was still appropriate to show this respect to elders who were at least in their 80s. The elder in the center laughed heartily and stepped forward, pulling Flander's hands down from his shoulders. No need for formalities, Headmaster Flander. I've long heard of your illustrious name. It is a great honor for our humble academy to receive guidance from the esteemed teachers of the Monster Academy. I am Meng Shinji, the Chief of the Board of Education. My spirit is the Black Demon, Control System, Level 86, 8-Ring Spirit Dolua. Let me introduce my colleagues. Meng Shinji was of medium build and very thin, with barely any flesh on him. His voice was somewhat sharp but not unpleasant, giving off an amiable feeling. His hair and beard were white, and although he was thin, he was very spirited and full of energy, with a healthy complexion. Meng Shinji pointed to the elder on his left and said, This is Baishan, the Deputy Chief of the Academy's Board of Education. His spirit is the Celestial Star Furnace, Defense System, Level 85, 8-Ring Spirit Dolua. Baishan's physique was the complete opposite of Meng Shinji's. He was short and extremely fat, with both his height and waist circumference being exactly 4 feet. Baishan always had a gentle smile on his face, and the fat on his face jiggled as he smiled. He nodded and smiled at Flander when Meng Shinji introduced him. Meng Shinji then pointed to the last elder and said, This is Jeline, the third member of the Board of Education. His spirit is the Sky Blue Vine, Control System, Level 83, 8-Ring Tool Spirit Dolua. Among the 3 board members, Jeline looked the most normal in appearance, with an ordinary look, except for the occasional bright gleam in his eyes that made him seem a bit special. Although Flander had known beforehand that they were all Spirit Dolua level powerhouses, he was still deeply impressed when Meng Shinji introduced them. Especially considering that among these 3 Spirit Dolua, 2 were from the Control System. Everyone in the Spirit Master world knew that although the attack system was powerful, the Control System was the hardest to deal with and the least preferred opponent to face. Unless they had a specific counter, it was very difficult for a Spirit Master of the same level to defeat a Control System Spirit Master one-on-one. Flander quickly introduced the teachers from Shrek Academy, but he didn't mention the Shrek 7 Devils, as they were just students. However, he could see that the 3 board members seemed more interested in the Shrek 7 Devils than in them. Meng Shinji said, Everyone, please make yourselves at home. Come in, please. The Board of Education's residence was not as luxurious as expected. On the contrary, the places where these 3 Spirit Dolua worked and lived were very simple. There were only necessary furnishings and some simple green plants for decoration. The group took their seats, but since there weren't many chairs in the boardroom, the Shrek 7 Devils had to stand behind Flander and the other teachers. Everyone's eyes were somewhat excited, as they were facing 3 Spirit Dolua-level powerhouses. In the entire Spirit Master world, there were very few who could reach this level of cultivation, and all of them possessed great power, able to dominate even amidst 1,000 armies. Meng Shinji had the servants bring tea and snacks. His gaze swept over the Shrek 7 Devil standing there, and he smiled, I heard from Qin Ming that these children defeated our royal battle team. I am truly astonished. The Monster Academy indeed lives up to its name. Qin Ming's achievements have already surprised me greatly, and I didn't expect your academy to nurture so many outstanding talents. Flanders smiled bitterly and said, Shrek Academy no longer exists. Meng Shinji replied seriously, Je know, you see these children behind you. Their future achievements, along with those of previous Shrek Academy graduates, will always belong to Shrek. Qin Ming has already explained everything to us. It is our honor that you have come to our academy. Unless you teachers are willing, the academy will not assign any teaching tasks to you. Here, you are free to do as you please. If you need anything, just let us know, and we will do our best to accommodate within our capabilities. As a level 70+ powerhouse, Flander could naturally see the sincerity in these three Spirit Dolua's words. This wasn't a facade, they were truly eager for talent. Without any probing, they chose to completely trust Qin Ming. At this moment, Jilin, the third member of the board, suddenly asked, I heard from Teacher Qin that there is an exceptionally talented control system spirit master among your students. Who might that be? The Grandmaster smiled calmly and said, we dare not call him a genius. Tang San. Tang San responded and stepped forward from the Shrek Seven Devils, respectfully greeting the three Spirit Dolua, hello, teachers. Jilin smiled slightly, and the air around him suddenly distorted slightly. Others didn't feel anything, but Tang San clearly noticed that the air around him seemed to solidify, and a massive wave of spirit power surged toward him, making it impossible for him to move. This spirit power was somewhat similar to his blue silvergrass spirit power. Although it oppressed his body, Tang San could feel there was no killing intent. He understood that this was the other party testing his strength. Without saying a word, he activated his mysterious heaven skill to resist the invading force. The people from Shrek Academy knew what Jilin was doing, but no one said anything. Jilin's probing of Tang San was like an entrance exam. Flander was even eager for him to do this, so the high-ranking members of Heaven Do Royal Academy could see how outstanding his disciple was. Jilin's previously calm eyes gradually filled with surprise. With his level of strength, he immediately sensed that Tang San's spirit power was about level 33. This confirmed that Qin Ming's praise was not exaggerated. Moreover, Tang San's plant-based spirit power was very compatible with his own. What puzzled Jilin was why Tang San's level 33 spirit power was so difficult to deal with. Through probing with his spirit power, Jilin felt that although Tang San's spirit power was far weaker than his own, it had a kind of persistent resilience. The more pressure he applied, the stronger its rebound. Additionally, Tang San's physical endurance seemed beyond that of an average level 33 spirit master. Despite the pressure he exerted, Tang San showed no signs of pain. It should be noted that the pressure he applied was just right for a level 30 spirit master to endure, but still challenging. What Jilin didn't know was that Tang San's body had not only been transformed by spirit rings and spirit power, but also benefited from an external spirit bone. The man-faced demon spider spirit bone had significantly enhanced his strength, flexibility, and agility. Without these enhancements, Tang San couldn't have led the Shrek team to continuous victories over powerful opponents. Even Dai Mubai admitted he couldn't match Tang San. The external spirit bone 8 spider lances played a significant role, not only externally, but also in its subtle transformations. Jilin's black robe, signifying his status, fluttered without wind. Although he sat simply, Tang San clearly felt the pressure around him increasing bit by bit. This spirit Dolua was very considerate. To prevent Tang San from suddenly being overwhelmed, he increased the pressure slowly, allowing him to adjust. If Tang San showed signs of struggling, he could immediately ease off. Tang San understood that this control system Spirit Dolua was testing his strength. In front of Flander, the Grandmaster, and all the Shrek Academy members, he knew he represented not just himself but the entire Shrek Academy. Despite the increasing pressure and his mysterious heaven's skill working faster, he showed no sign of pain. Years of cultivation, numerous trials, and tests had given Tang San a willpower far beyond that of an average 13-year-old. The immense pain from absorbing the man-faced demon spider spirit ring had been endured, so he wouldn't easily succumb now. With his fists clenched inside his sleeves, Tang San maintained his composure. As he activated his mysterious heaven's skill, a faint white mist emanated from his body, releasing a subtle fragrance. During the process of high-speed internal energy circulation, the unique attributes of the blue silvergrass completely fused with the internal energy. As the pressure released by Tang San grew stronger, Tianqingting's Soul Dolua Jilin became increasingly astonished. Was the person in front of him really just a 13-year-old child? How could he not see that Tang San was combining his willpower with his strength to resist the soul power pressure Jilin exerted? Yet, even up to this point, the child hadn't released his martial spirit. Tang San's extraordinary performance had far exceeded Jilin's expectations. Everyone has a competitive nature, and even Soul Dolua are no exception. Competition coupled with curiosity made Jilin eager to see the extent of this child's potential. Seeing Tang San nod slightly, Jilin's robe stopped fluctuating with soul power and returned to normal. Observing this, the two other Soul Dolua beside him were also surprised. They had been together for a long time and naturally understood the magnitude of Jilin's soul power output at that moment. The two Soul Dolua couldn't help but show concern in their eyes. Although they knew Jilin would be careful, it was always worrisome if the child in front of them got hurt. But soon, their concern turned into astonishment. Tang San's body stood there like a towering mountain. Despite the increasing pressure, he didn't move an inch, only showing a gradually tense expression on his face. He didn't even force out his martial spirit? This thought appeared simultaneously in the minds of the three Soul Dolua. How could this be? Jilin's heart trembled slightly. He knew exactly how strong his soul power output was. Even a soul expert above level 35 would have had to release their martial spirit under such pressure, and they wouldn't remain as composed as this young man. If a calm expression indicated strong willpower, then when the pressure reached a certain level, willpower alone couldn't control the situation. Generally, when a lower-level soul master endures direct pressure from a higher-level soul master, being able to withstand pressure equal to 2/3 of their own level is considered quite outstanding. If they can withstand pressure equal to their soul power, their willpower is extremely firm. However, these conditions presuppose the release of their martial spirit, especially if they are a beast soul master. Beast martial spirits provide much more support to the soul master compared to tool martial spirits, which primarily serve as weapons. From Qin Ming's previous introduction, the three Soul Dolua knew Tang San was actually a tool soul master. But why could a mere tool soul master withstand more than 10% of his own soul power pressure without releasing his martial spirit? It was simply unbelievable. As the soul power fluctuations in the air grew more intense, Flender, Zhao Wuji, and others also became tense, sitting up straight and staring at Tang San, fearing any unexpected changes. Only the master remained leaning to the left on his chair, sipping tea calmly, showing no sign of worry. No one understood Tang San's abilities better than the master. The current situation allowed the master to accurately estimate Tang San's limit. Since Tang San hadn't released his martial spirit yet, it clearly wasn't his limit. One could even say he was still far from reaching his limit. The master also knew Tang San's soul power was unique, just like his blue silver grass, full of resilience. This resilience didn't manifest clearly in combat because it enhanced endurance. But facing this kind of increasing pressure, the resilience in his soul power became evident. Jilin increased his soul power pressure from level 35 to 36, then to 37, 38, and 39. When the pressure finally reached around level 40, Tang San's face showed a trace of pain. His expression slightly changed, and he struggled to raise his right hand. Blue light flickered, and the blue-silver grass surged from Tang San's palm like blooming flowers, forming a huge cage that enveloped Tang San. The blue-violet light glowed brilliantly, and all the blue-silver grass swayed in the air, each movement creating a special feeling as if the air itself was moving with it. Jilin's soul Doluo felt it most clearly. When Tang San released the blue-silver grass, he felt a sense of relief. Just as he was about to retract his soul power and end the test, Tang San's blue-silver grass formed a strange scene before him. The circular cage enveloped Tang San, with each blue-silver grass strand leaving only tiny gaps between them. With every slight sway, Jilin was amazed to find that his pressure seemed to be exerted on a highly elastic object, significantly reducing the pressure on Tang San. To be precise, the pressure on Tang San was being deflected. The number of miraculous occurrences on this child was astounding, and the three Soul Doluo's expressions gradually turned from surprise to delight. Even Tang San himself didn't understand why the blue-silver grass was reacting this way. He seemed very resilient, but in reality, under the level 40 soul power pressure, even breathing had become difficult. He was merely holding on to avoid embarrassing Shrek Academy. The blue-silver grass was released when he could no longer bear it. The current arrangement and movement of the blue-silver grass happened naturally. With their rhythmic oscillation, Tang San instantly felt the pressure greatly reduced. In his mind, a powerful technique emerged, a method to leverage an opponent's strength against them. This technique, 4 ounces to move 1,000 pounds, was commonly used in Tang San's previous life. Naturally, he knew it well. However, he couldn't understand why his blue-silver grass was executing his martial skill without his deliberate control. Realizing this, Tang San suddenly understood there were many aspects of his martial spirit he had yet to comprehend. With reduced pressure, Tang San's face naturally returned to normal. Seeing this, Jilin's soul Doluo retracted his intention to stop the test. He further increased the soul power pressure, and this time at a faster rate than before. Although 4 ounces to move 1,000 pounds was effective, how would it fare against 10,000 pounds? The pressure surged, and Tang San felt as if his meridians were about to explode under the external pressure, experiencing extreme pain. His entire body turned red with blood pooling under his skin, and the speed of Shintian's skill circulation increased, each surge bringing intense pain to his meridians. The blue-silver grass's oscillation speed also increased, but its capacity to deflect soul power was ultimately limited. However, the blue-silver grass barrier prevented outsiders from seeing Tang San's condition, making them think he was still steadfastly resisting. They didn't know that at this moment, his face was flushed, and he was in a highly dangerous state. The pressure had already reached the level of 45 soul power. I can still hold on, Tang San continuously told himself, straightening his back. The soul power kept increasing, and Tang San's body finally approached its limit. At this point, even moving a finger was difficult for him. At that moment, Tang San felt something inside him shatter. Immediately, the rapid flow of Shintian's skill slowed down, and all the pressure seemed to burst out from his back, instantly dissipating. With a spurt, the blue-silver grass around Tang San scattered. His body shuddered, and he reappeared before everyone. But when they saw him, they were all shocked. Tang San's body had swelled, and behind him, the external spirit bone 8 spider lances had already been released, the purple shiny lances gently moving like wings. His forehead had the spiderweb pattern again, even clearer this time. Tang San's expression was relaxed, surrounded by white mist that flowed like water from his nose and mouth. With each breath, the mist grew thicker, and Tang San's body swelled further. A soul bone. The 3 Heaven Do Imperial Academy's Soul Doluo exclaimed simultaneously. Jilin immediately stopped exerting pressure, recognizing that Tang San had reached his limit. Any further pressure could cause his body to explode. A white glow appeared at the tips of the 8 spider lances, emanating from within. Tang San's body didn't change despite the external pressure disappearing, continuing to breathe the white mist. Thank you, Jilin Soul Doluo, for your support, the master said, standing up and bowing to Jilin with a smile. Jilin was puzzled. Support? What support? Even as a powerful soul Dolua, he didn't understand the changes occurring in Tang San and felt apprehensive. The master smiled slightly and said, Ever since Tang San obtained the external spirit bone 8 spider lances, his strength increased, but he couldn't fully integrate with it. Under the pressure exerted by you, Jilin Soul Dolua, I believe he has finally fused with his external spirit bone. It is now part of him, no longer an external entity. Upon hearing the words the external spirit bone, the 3 Contras almost simultaneously stood up from their seats, while Qin Ming jumped out of his seat as if his bottom was on fire. The 3 Contras exchanged glances. Their discerning eyes immediately recognized that the 8 spider lances behind Tang San were spirit bones, rather than martial spirits, something that Qin Ming had failed to notice. However, they never imagined that they could be an external spirit bone. They could sense the formidable power emanating from the 8 spider lances. A 13-year-old child not only possessed spirit power above level 30, but also had an external spirit bone, a rarity second only to a 100,000-year spirit ring among Spirit Master's treasures. What did this imply? What potential did this child have? Even if his martial spirit was only blue-silver grass, so what? Is this really an external spirit bone? Meng Shinji's voice trembled violently. The master nodded. I'm certain of it. However, I must ask the 3 of you to keep this a secret. Although the external spirit bone has fused with Tang San's body and won't drop upon his death like other spirit bones, the saying a person without sin, yet guilty of possessing a precious jade, still applies. I don't want him to face overly powerful opponents before he has grown stronger. We understand, rest assured. We swear by our martial spirits that we will never divulge this information to anyone, Meng Shinji said, gratitude shining in his eyes. The reason was simple. Shrek's party had not hidden the fact that Tang San possessed an external spirit bone from them, demonstrating their respect for Heaven Do Imperial Academy. External spirit bones were incredibly precious. If powerful yet malevolent spirit masters learned about it, Tang San wouldn't have space to grow. The master wasn't careless. Before coming here, he had thoroughly investigated Heaven Do Imperial Academy. The 3 Contras before him were esteemed and kind-hearted elders in the Spirit Master world. Otherwise, he would never have revealed Tang San's secret so easily. Tang San felt intensely hot. The discomfort from the pressure had vanished completely. He now felt as though he was being tempered in a great furnace. This sensation was somewhat similar to when he first absorbed the man-faced demon spider spirit ring, but the pain now was much less severe. Only the burning sensation remained without the intense pain. The slowly circulating Shentian skill's inner force moved more steadily, becoming more solid with each cycle and seemingly impacting certain special meridians. The earlier sensation of a meridian breaking through seemed to indicate a meridian had been opened. At the peak of the pressure, Tang San hadn't noticed the black light shining from his left palm, but he felt a surge of power from within. If the peculiar meridian hadn't been cleared, perhaps his other martial spirit would have appeared. Tang San no longer had the capacity to think. He only endured the waves of heat, with the Shentian skill seemingly absorbing this heat. Each cycle made him feel more comfortable, so he continued. After the initial shock, the 3 Contras gradually calmed down, while Qin Ming, less composed, still appeared extremely agitated. Meng Shinji exhaled deeply. I never expected, truly never expected, that our Spirit Master world would produce such a genius. I feel fortunate to meet all of you here today. Flender also relaxed, giving the Master an inquiring look. The Master nodded slightly, signaling that Tang San would be fine. Flender then said to Meng Shinji, We don't take credit for Tang San's abilities. He is the Master's direct disciple, and his own talent is extraordinary. These 7 children are all prodigies in Shrek Academy's history, each with their own unique gifts. We came to Heaven Do Imperial Academy because we didn't want to waste their talents. We hope they can fully develop their potential here with better training conditions. They are the last students of Shrek Academy, and as the Dean, I sincerely hope they all become title Dolua, far surpassing my achievements. At this moment, Flender's eyes were devoid of any pretense, sincerely showing his emotions. The 6 Shrek monsters behind him felt a special emotion as they listened to Flender's words, realizing that in this moment, he seemed older and lonelier. Indeed, as a dean who had to bring his students to another academy for training, how could someone as proud as Flender not feel a sting in his heart? Although he never showed it, was his inner world truly at peace? Meng Shinji nodded. Dean Flender, rest assured. Here, we promise to provide the best training facilities for these children and ask for nothing in return. Even if they don't represent Heaven Do Imperial Academy in the future, it doesn't matter. Imagine, when they stand at the peak of the Spirit Master world, the words Heaven Do Imperial Academy in their history will be enough for us. Flender stood up and bowed to the 3 Contras. Thank you, seniors. Seeing this, the master finally smiled slightly, thinking, Flender, if I hadn't thoroughly understood the personalities of these 3 directors, how could I have brought you here? No matter what happened before, you are my brother, and I hope you have a comfortable old age. At this moment, a long exhale drew everyone's attention. Tang San expelled a thick white mist from his mouth. Unlike the previous ethereal mist, this one was much denser. As he inhaled it back through his nose, the redness and swelling on his skin completely disappeared, and he looked normal again. As the white mist was fully absorbed, Tang San slowly opened his eyes, momentarily creating a sensation of 2 cold stars in the hall. Although the bright cold light disappeared in a flash, everyone noticed that Tang San was different from before. The 8 spider lances retracted into his body in just a breath's time, much faster than before. Unfortunately, his clothes couldn't be saved, likely the only drawback of the 8 spider lances. For the frugal Tang San, it pained him to lose his clothes. Seeing everyone looking at him, Tang San calmly bowed to the 3 Contras and walked back behind the master without saying a word, looking as honest as ever. Tang San wasn't paying attention to their conversation, focusing entirely on himself. When he heard the sound of a meridian breaking through under immense pressure, he wasn't aware of the changes in his body. But now, he immediately noticed the differences. Firstly, his spirit power had increased by 1 level. More importantly, his overall attributes seemed to have enhanced. This was more than just an increase in spirit power level. At its core, it was because he had cleared a meridian under the immense pressure. This meridian not only allowed the 8 spider lances to integrate perfectly with him, but also significantly altered his body. His spirit power was at level 34, but his physical attributes seemed to have surpassed level 40. Even the master might not understand this meridian breakthrough, but Tang San knew it well. It was one of the 8 extraordinary meridians mentioned in the mysterious Heaven Treasure record. According to the record, any of the 8 extraordinary meridians being cleared would greatly benefit the Shention skill, and mastering the Shention skill required not only reaching the 8th level, but also clearing all 8 extraordinary meridians. The record stated, clearing the 8 extraordinary meridians enables one to ascend to the heavens and traverse the earth, capable of anything. Though a simple phrase, it highlighted the immense benefits of clearing these meridians. Tang San's understanding of the 8 extraordinary meridians came from the mysterious Heaven Treasure record. The record detailed these meridians extensively. The 8 points, like Hoshi, Neguan, Weiguan, Zhaohai, Shinmai, Gongsun, and Zelinki, each corresponded to one of the 8 extraordinary meridians: Ren, Du, Yinwei, Yangwei, Yinxiao, Yangqiao, Chong, and Dai. These points could connect to the respective meridians in the body.